Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight in the Flight Sim Studio Embraer 195. Today we are going to try and fly the aircraft on VATSIM for the first time. Now, don't try this at home unless you really know what you're doing and unless you know alternate means of navigation. Just in case. Today we want to try out how well the aircraft is going to behave and how well or not we will be able to follow all ATC instructions. So this promises to become an interesting one, so join me as we are about to board our Embraer. Now we are going to start with the easiest thing over here, that is powering the aircraft up. So that is going to be batteries 1 and 2 coming on, and the ground power can come online as well. First thing first then, let's go ahead and turn on all those cockpit lights here. So that's our backlights and the dome lighting turned on, which is probably the most important here. Also, I do like to get a little bit of the floodlight turned on over here, and same over here as well. Okay, so now that we can actually see something, let's go ahead and prepare our aircraft for service. So that's about the basics. Well then, let's go for it. So, basic check on the overhead panel, making sure that we have no unexpected settings over here. The logo light can come on and the nav light can already come on over here. Okay, and logo and nav on, and well, this is what it looks like. So then, let's go right over into the electronic flight bag and start setting up for our flight. So we are going to import our debrief flight plan down here. Took a little while, but here it is. Okay, so in terms of our fuel, I will just take a tiny bit more here. Let's make it 4,500 kilos, just in case we get to enter a holding anywhere, to be on the safe side here. Then we can go for our setup, and we'll take runway 2 to right. We are going to take it wet, and flaps 1 and flaps 2. Use the current weather data, and that is all looking good. So let's hit calculate, let's go for instant loading of the aircraft, and that's it. Alright, wonderful. So now that this is complete, we can go ahead with our before start procedure, which starts on the overhead panel, making sure that the DFDR test works. Then we can go down over here, make sure that all the switches are in their appropriate positions. Fire test is looking good and everything's set. Then we can go over here and test the hydraulic system. Let's turn everything on, go down to hydraulics, see what it looks like, and they're all powering up. Beautiful. Here we go. Okay, and then we can turn it back off again. So, down here everything is set, leading us down to our main panel. We'll take the 2 bearings, we'll make sure that the minimums is gonna be barometric today, and the QNH is going to be in hectopascals, please. Okay, 999 is already looking good. And our initial climb we'll get to later. So auto brakes RTO, and then going down, we'll just leave the default frequencies for the time being on COM 1. We can tune 1215 on COM 2, and the transponder 2000 down here. Okay, so getting further down. Interesting, the takeoff config button doesn't seem to do anything right now, but hey, that's not too much our problem. Let's go ahead and start with our FMS setup. So, we've got the 24th of September, the database is current as of this recording. We're going from Copenhagen over to Berlin, and we have a flight number of... well, that actually looks rather correct already. So, our flight number is going to be SAS 1679. Okay. So then, flight plan request sent. Let's go ahead and uplink our flight plan. Alright, and apply. So, everything is loading in as we speak. Flight plan received. Beautiful. Okay, so our departure runway is probably going to be runway 22 right today, and our sit is going to be a case of my Simbrief flight plan not opening when I'm trying to talk. The Cello 1 Charlie departure. Alright, here we go. So, apply that. And for our arrival, we are going to start on runway 25. It could be both. Let's start with 25 right, and then we'll see what we're gonna get. ILS approach, and we've got the keytab 25 transition then. Here we go, and apply. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look through our flight plan. And this actually looks pretty good. Not sure why keytab is in there twice. Let's go ahead and delete one of them. Can't delete it. Okay, so be it. Then we'll just have to overfly that one. That's fine. Okay. Didn't I click on performance in it? Yeah, perf in it? No, that's not right. Okay, let's do it that way. Okay, takeoff fuel 4,500. Our trip fuel is 1,700, so we are going to land with 2,800 kilos of fuel on board. Okay, next page. Cruise altitude is 27,000. The cruise winds are 188 at 28. Like that. Zero fuel weight today. Let's have a look into the EFB. And we've got 39,248. Something like that. Alright. Very good. And on the next one, 270.73. Well, we are going to change that slightly. We are going to make it 300/0.73. Alright, and for the cruise, 300/0.74. And the descent, 280. Well, let's also make that 300/0.73. And here we go. Okay, onto the takeoff data set. Let's see what we have calculated. So Copenhagen 2 to right, flaps 1 or flaps 2, both can be done. I tend to say I am going to go for flaps 2. So that gives me a takeoff 2 D-rate, ECS on, anti-ice off, 33 degrees temperature. So, takeoff 2, flags on. Let's just see, the outside air temperature is 14 degrees. And then we'll take a flags of 33. Okay, ECS on, ATIX on, no anti-ice needed, looks good, enter. Alright, onto the takeoff page. So, it is gonna be a wet runway, and the latest runway conditions. The wind 250 at 4. Okay, here we go. The rest of it looks good, and that looks good as well. Okay, and that's gonna be our takeoff speeds, and that was for flaps 2 takeoff, not flaps 1. Okay, flaps 2, and here we go, that's our speeds. Beautiful. So then, on to the climb page, transition altitude over here. That's about time to get out our charts. So we are in Copenhagen. Let's see, sit, Salo 1 Charlie on-off departure. Here we go, transition altitude is 5,000. And we can go to night mode, please. So 5,000 in here, 250 below 100 is correct. We changed that speed, didn't we? 300/0.73. Okay, here we go. Changed it again. And initial climb clearance, flight level 70. Looking good. So, 70 is set. Okay, beautiful. So, that's our setup completed. Then, I suggest we are going to grab the ATIS and thereafter our IFR clearance. So, looking at the chart, let's go ahead and grab a ground chart. Copenhagen, taxi chart, airport. Here we go. So, departure ATIS 122.855.
Delta.
Thereafter, delivery 119er 905.
At 1820 Zulu Special. Runway in use for takeoff 22 right. Wind 250 at 4. Visibility 8 kilometers. Light rain. Ceiling 4500 broken cumulonimbus. Temperature 14. Dew point 13. QNH 999. At first contact with apron control, advise if unable to perform customized pushback. This was Copenhagen departure information Delta. Advise on initial contact.
Okay, we have information Delta. Let's get the clearance. Copenhagen, good evening. Scandinavian 1679er information Delta. Request clearance to Berlin.
Scandinavian 16. Direction 1679 Copenhagen approach below not license.
Stand by. No flight plan. Interesting. I did pre-file it. Did I have a typo in there somewhere? Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Scandinavian 1679, the flight plan should be available now.
Scandinavian 1679 are cleared to Berlin, Solo 1 Charlie, squawk 6072.
Solo 1 Charlie, squawk 6072, Scandinavian 1679.
Scandinavian 1679, Nairobi is correct.
Okay, wonderful. So the Solo 1 Charlie is in there, and then we can set the squawk 6072.
Very good data, France 65 information Delta on board request.
Here we go. Okay, wonderful.
Correction, Alpha 6.
So then we are good to go.
Charlie, squawk 4656.
Let's go ahead with our departure briefing, please. And in the meantime, we can start the APU and make GSX prepare our pushback and departure. So, handling by Menzies, I don't care, that's fine. Okay, so, are you ready for the briefing? Right, let's start on the right hand side here. Okay, runway 22 right, Solo 1 Charlie departure, climbing flight level 70. The MSA is 2000 and we took about 10 minutes of extra fuel. I have no hotspots for the taxi except for that runway crossing. Gotta make sure that we have clearance. Stop margin for ejected takeoff over 1000 meters. Engine outset straight at 25 miles. If we need to return immediately, Copenhagen is the best option in the area. And we don't have any specials on non-standards here. Any threats? No? Beautiful. Okay, that's the briefing complete then. So, they can disconnect all the ground equipment, please.
45 FedEx 9297.
And the jetway is already disconnected. Beautiful.
Confirming weather to Charlie departure FedEx 9297.
Okay, then we should be ready to go.
First FedEx 90297 read correct break easy 63 Zulu Quebec push and start approach page 9999 release point whiskey 3.
Push and start to release point whiskey 3 9999 63 Zulu Quebec.
Scandinavian 1679er, request pushback and startup QNH 999.
Scandinavian 1679 number 1 for push.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, that guy behind us here is blocking us. Well, hopefully he will be ready to go in a moment.
Copenhagen approach Nordic liner.
Okay, well.
Stand Bravo 5, requesting push and start.
As we're waiting down here,
let's
let's bring this one back onto the... This should be performance in it. Interesting. Okay, let's go right back onto the takeoff page here. Here we go. That one, that one.
Convene 83 Delta taxi to holding point.
Okay, so we'll take the map over here, we'll take the map over here, and that's it. So, can already press the toga button. Toga is armed, and well, that's it. Alright, let's get rid of that little sticker down there. We know which version we are flying. Okay, so lights are set. Let's try to bring those to a similar level of brightness here as well. I think that looks good. Alright.
1679er behind the company traffic pushing startup QNH 999er release point Romeo 1 behind.
Scan maybe in 1679er, when clear of the company, push start approved Romeo 1 and QNH 999er. Okay. So the beacon light is on, and then we can also go to sterile cockpit, and the rest is set. So the company is gone, ground from flight deck, go ahead. So clear push and start, park and brake, released Romeo 1. Roger, start in the pushback, and stand by for engine start. Stand by. Okay, off block at 05, exactly on time. Now a small little bug there. If you look at the audio control panel, by default, you should have the microphone on VHF 1 and be listening to VHF 1 and 2. For some reason you need to press the button for VHF 3 in order to be able to listen to VHF 2. That's a little bit annoying, unfortunately, but that's how it seems to work. Okay, so ground flight, start sequence will be 2 then 1, starting engine 2. Clear 2. Engine 2 start. And 2.
Take 940 taxi to stand Delta 3 via Bravo, Victor and Sierra.
Okay, still no one over here, that should hopefully come any moment. Will you? Okay, here we go, now we have an N1 reading. GSX is doing ugly things again with the pushback, going left, right, Just make it a nice and straight push. Okay, looks alright though. By the way, awesome reflection of the nav light down here in the rain, isn't it? Okay then, we have a good start on on 2, starting 1. And push complete, set your brakes. Brake set. Okay, engine 1 is starting.
At round 6 focus yourself.
Oh, that guy's going into the gate pretty fast. Okay, number 1 is coming up. Okay, ground, we have 2 good starts, you're clear to disconnect, show me the sign in front, please, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
For departure, right.
Okay, 2 good starts.
Delta, wind is 25,
APU off. Pump on, transponder is checked. Flaps 2. And flight control track. So, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Scandinavian 1679er, request taxi.
Scandinavian 1679er, taxi to holding point, Echo 1, runway 22 right via Sierra, Victor Bravo, cross 30.
Scandinavian 1679er, taxi holding point Echo 1, runway 22 right via Sierra Victor Bravo, cross runway 30. Okay, so Sierra, Victor, Bravo, cross runway 30.
Quebec, taxi via Whiskey Hold Short of Sierra.
Whiskey Hot Shot Sierra, AC60.
So, lights are on, park brake off, and the dome light can go off. Alright, let's give it a go. So, where is the wiper in this aircraft? Here it is. So, looks like we need quite a bit of power to get this moving. But no surprise, we are in the E195, that is the heaviest of the 4 E-jets actually. So, no surprise we need a little bit of extra power over here. Oh, no taxi lights over here. Interesting. Oh, it's pretty hard to find that line for a moment.
Approach Scandinavian 83 Delta is departed runway 22 right, climbing through 1000 Scandinavian 83 Delta identified.
Okay, so straight out to the end and then Victor onto Bravo. And then we're already clear to cross.
Scandinavian 83 Delta.
So, going straight over here. We're cleared all the way, so that other guy needs to wait there.
Using 630 Quebec holding Sierra.
Okay, that must have been the easy. Okay, then slightly to the right, that's Victor, and then straight onto Bravo, which is going to be the first to the left here, so just over here. Yep, that says Bravo on the taxi sign, so we go to the left over here. Okay, on Bravo, and we're clear to cross runway 30. Strobe light on. Clear on the left side. Clear on the right side. Clear to cross. I have to say, this is pretty atmospheric over here. The immersion factor is definitely there. Okay, so clear to cross, and then holding point Echo 1. Which means after the crossing, continue straight and then half right
933 taxi to holding point
towards the holding point. Okay, so let's review the takeoff briefing. It is a left seat takeoff on runway 22 right, flaps 2, noise abatement procedure 2, takeoff speeds 132, 134, 138. We're on the departure frequency already, initial climb flight level 70. There are no specials, and we have, well, no abnormals, so everything is straightforward. In case of emergency, straightforward, 25 miles.
4 behind traffic, correction 1 clear of traffic, push and start up, release by taxi.
Push and approve, Francis, bye.
Scandinavian 1679, wind is 25 degrees for not runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, report Arabor.
Scandinavian 1679, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff. Okay, so clear for takeoff, then we can turn the strobes right back on. Landing lights also coming on, even though they make it pretty hard to see anything here. Okay, I'll go into weather over here. We'll also take the TCAS on. And that is it. And you can have the terrain then. Fair enough. So transponder is on, and then we can just clear that scratch pad.
Takeoff, okay.
Okay, wonderful. So, are you ready? Yes, sir. Takeoff. Set thrust. Yeah, that's the wipe up. Okay, thrust set.
80 knots.
Checked.
Easy 630 Quebec line up and wait to right.
Runway 22 right, easy 630 Quebec.
Rotate.
FedEx 19297, request push start.
Come on, will you lift off? Here we go. You're up.
FedEx 902-907 pushing start up of PH, triple 9er facing south.
No clue why it went to alt hold.
Unit 999,
Level change.
Base south, FedEx 9297.
Autopilot.
France 654, I think we push in between the crash. It was complicated.
France 654 second.
Yeah, you give it the clearance to push back, but I think we disturbed one aircraft we were taxiing.
Air France 654, I said behind, well clear of traffic, push back.
Okay, flaps 1.
My man.
Speed checked. Scandinavian 1679 are passing 1,700 feet.
Scandinavian 1679,
Flap 0.
identified climb height level 190, direct follow.
Climb flight level 190, direct Salo, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, set. Flight level 190 checked. And then proceed direct Salo. Okay, here we go. Directing to Salo, and the gear is up, flaps are up, auto brake off. Beautiful.
Easy 630 Quebec, we're all lined up.
Oh, taking us right into the red. Okay, tell you what. Heading. Give me heading 170. Scandinavian 1679, request heading 170 to avoid weather.
I'll take off.
Runway 22 right, clear for takeoff, easy 630 Quebec.
Scandinavian 1679, request heading 170 to avoid weather.
Scandinavian 1679 second heading.
Heading 170, Scandinavian 1679.
Scandinavian 1679 up to heading, turn heading 170.
Heading 170, Scandinavian 1679. Okay. I tell you what, let's go.
Scandinavian 1679 report to turn.
Will go. Alright, so let's just give it full climb thrust here. Well, you stay on auto, but you go climb more.
Taxi.
Okay, set standard.
Air France 654 taxi 200 meter runway to right via Papa, throttle down, 30.
Standard cross check, passing flight level 65 now. Okay then, now that we're airborne, the FO can go onto the weather radar as well. Always good to have two different ranges set. So on the FO side, I've selected a slightly higher range now, so that we get a detailed view on my side and a little bit more extensive view of the big picture on the FO side.
Scandinavian 83 Delta contact Sweden 118 405.
Okay, so this would be the point
Scandinavian 83 Delta
where we would have to dial the weather radar up a little bit to analyze what this weather actually looks like. Right now it's obvious we're inside it, but it would be good to know if we can just climb above it on the flight path, or what exactly things are gonna look like here.
Easy
3 Zulu Quebec with you at 3000.
In any case, I'm hoping that we'll be above it soon and then able to make a left-hand turn.
Climb flight level 190, direct. Echo,
Okay, passing 10,000.
Climb flight level 190, direct. Tango 63 Zulu Quebec.
So, lights off. Tell you what, dome light on.
Big approach, hello, Lufthansa 132, with information, Echo, request clearance.
Okay, icing conditions detected. That's okay. Well, we are going to keep the passengers seated, of course, and the cabin crew as well.
We want to approach hello number 1.
Ryanair 3 uniform Victor descending 9,000 inbound next
Can you see anything outside yet? No, not really. Grey and grey. That's fine.
20 Ryanair 3 affirmative.
We'll just have to wait and see when we are able to make the left turn. Think we're getting out of it right now? Well.
Scandinavian 1679, our traffic information, near 12, outward position, 10 miles. He is climbing, correction, he is descending flight level 990.
Scandinavian 1679, roger.
Scandinavian 1679, report heading to Copenhagen Control on 127.865.
127.865 with a heading Scandinavian 1679, bye-bye. Copenhagen Control, good evening, Scandinavian 1679, flight level 142, climbing 190, heading 170, avoiding weather.
1679, Copenhagen Control, good evening, radar contact.
So, still nothing visible outside.
Human 1679, climb flight level 270.
Climb flight level 270, Scandinavian 1679. Set, flight level 270, blue.
Human 1679, at Whiteman, clear of the weather.
Wilco, we're able heading 160 now, and I call you for any further.
Human 1679, roger, turn left heading 160.
Left heading 160, Scandinavian 1679. Okay. So, we still got that one little red dot over there, which I want to fly past. And then we should be clear of the weather. Okay, so that much about our departure. I tend to say that worked pretty well. Now, we didn't really fly departure for a long time, so we had to go into the heading pretty quickly here. But nonetheless, I do have to say, in terms of the immersion factor, that was quite cool. Okay, nothing further over here. Scandinavian 1679 are clear of weather.
1679, roger, call you back shortly.
He's probably coordinating a direct for us right now. Well, we can't really avoid this, we'll just have to keep our passengers seated for the time being. And that's it. So, still inside the clouds. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell whether you're inside clouds or not at night. Normally, it is a very good reference just to look up at the sky, and if you can see some stars...
1679, resume on navigation, direct Ketak.
Direct Ketak, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, Ketak. Direct 2, and... LNAV. Okay, one straight line. Beautiful. Very nicely coordinated by our traffic control. So sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell at night whether you're inside the clouds or out of them already, because...
Skyline 1679, 1679er, contact Bremen radar frequency 124.175 so long.
124.175, Scandinavian 1679er, so long. Flame radar, good evening, Scandinavian 1679er, passing level 235, climbing 270 inbound keytap.
Scandinavian 1679er, Flame radar identified, confirm level 270, final requested level.
Affirm, Scandinavian 1679er.
Roger.
Okay, so interrupted for the second time here, but they're doing very good controlling, I'm not gonna complain. So what I was about to say is, at night it can be rather hard to determine whether you're inside the clouds or out of them. A very good hint is to have a look at the sky above you. If you can see stars like we can over here right now, then chances are good that you're about to be outside the clouds, or at least... But sometimes those stars can simply be hidden underneath...
1679er, proceed direct Delta Bravo 433.
Direct Delta Bravo 433, Scandinavian 1679er.
Wings 24 Delta
So, Delta Bravo 433.
DSC is only available above level 285. Copy 24 Delta Bravo.
Vertical speed.
Delta Bravo, connect now, arrival 126, caption connect arrival 119.
And here we go. Alright.
Wings 3813, contact Bremen radar 126, decimal 325, jump.
So, this would be the point where I would call the cabin crew to tell them that they are released for services.
Wings 3813, contact Bremen radar 126.
And we see the stars all around, that means we are clear of the weather. Nonetheless, I will leave the seatbelts on until we're clear of what we have on the radar down here, as I am not too eager to throw any passengers to the ceiling, just in case we happen to hit something. Alright, so we can see the stars, that means we are well outside the clouds. It was about time, to be honest. We are pretty high right now to get out of it, but yeah. I tend to say nonetheless this was a realistic level to leave the clouds. Sometimes they can reach all the way up to cruise levels. That stuff does happen, unfortunately. Okay, so capturing flight level 270. And then let's go ahead and start setting up our arrival. So that is going to be into Berlin. So, Atus 123780.
Level 70, wind 190 degrees 9 knots, cab OK, temperature 15, 2.13 QNH 1004 trend, no sig Berlin Brandenburg information kilo. Out. Berlin Brandenburg information kilo. Met report time 1850 Zulu. Automated weather message, expect vectoring for ILS approach runway pin use 25 left and 25 right after vacating runway 25 left, 425 right remain on frequency. Transition level 70, wind 190 degrees 9 knots, cab OK, temperature 15, 2.13 QNH 1004 trend, no sig Berlin Brandenburg information kilo. Out.
So 1004, I've pre-selected that already. It's just for myself. I'll press standard now. Okay, it goes right back to standard. Well, that's fine then. Can't pre-select it. Okay, nonetheless, let's go ahead with a little bit of approach planning then. So, we're already inbound to... We are already inbound to Delta Bravo 433. Thereafter it's going to be a turn into the downwind or maybe directly into the final. We'll see about it. In any case, let's go ahead and plan 433 at 5,000 feet. Then we are good for pretty much anything. So that means we got to descend 22,000 feet. So our top of descent is going to be 66 miles prior to Delta Bravo 433. And then let's go ahead and add another 8 miles, so 74 miles inbound. We are going to start our descent. The additional mileage is to lose our airspeed. Okay, so Delta Bravo 433, then into the downwind via all those points. Let's go ahead and have a look at that on the plan. If we can. Doesn't look like it, huh? Oh, wait a moment, it's this one. But looks like we can't zoom it into the star. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so be it. Then I'm not gonna bother with it. In any case, we have 434, 5, 6, 7, and then into the downwind, and they're counting backwards for runway 25 right. That is okay for me. Ain't perfect, but about the best we're going to get. Okay, so Berlin approach, ILS runway 25 right, I suppose. 109.9, 245 course, so 1099 and 099, that should work over here as well, and it does. Very good. Okay, let's tune U active, and then for the missed approach, we go straight ahead until 0.6 miles from the ILS, maximum 4000, intercept and follow radial 279 BBI towards Okbear. Okay, so BBI is 14.1. Let's go ahead and tune that one. Here we go. Okay, well then, let's go ahead and tune the runway track. I'm going to be using VOR1 over here, and the runway track is going to be 245. Okay, and that's set.
Good evening, Graham. Nordic 10-8.
Perfect, then back to FMS navigation.
Nordic 10-8,
LNAV.
good day, identified, climb to flight level 250.
And here we go.
250 for Nordic 10-8.
Okay, beautiful. So that should be all we need. Outer brakes low. And that's all. Okay. Then minimum 354, so 360. No, not a radial minimum. Here we go. Barometric 360 set. Okay, perfect. So 10 miles till our top of descent. Things are going quick today.
Raymond Radar, good evening, Lufthansa.
Well, we can use the rest of the time to prepare our taxi chart.
Lufthansa 229, Raymond Radar identified, hello, climb to flight level 220.
So, Berlin Airport and...
Lufthansa 229.
Lufthansa 229, correction, climb to flight level 240.
Berlin stands. Perfect, and that should be all we need.
Lufthansa 229.
Okay, excellent. All set up. Then we should be good to go. Okay, ready for the approach briefing? Well, let's go for it. Okay, MSA 3000 feet. We are already inbound to the downwind for an ILS approach runway 25 right. The minimums can be set on both sides, 360, and the missed approach straight at to intercept the radial 296 outbound Berlin-Brandenburg VOR. Alright, approach guidance by the flight director with manual thrust. Landing config 5, stop margin is about 2,000 meters. We will use the reversers and auto brakes low, and we're going to vacate the runway to the left. I have nothing special on non-standard over here. Any threats? No? Perfect. Briefing complete. Scandinavian 1679, request descent.
Scandinavian 1679, descent to flight level 140.
Descent flight level 140, Scandinavian 1679. Set. Flight level 140 checked. Okay, FPA. -3. And down we go. So, the seatbelt signs are still on. We are going to keep them on anyway. So, that is alright. Cool. So, we're on the way down. And I think there is a little more stuff that we have to do down here. So, let's go to start on the descent page here. So, they say 280, I say 300. So, 300.74, transition level 70. 250 below 10,000 is correct. Then let's go ahead for the landing setup. So, landing initialization. So, good thing we all learned for our assessments back in the day, so that way we could of course remember what was in the ADAS. So that's wind 190 at 9. And the temperature is 15 degrees. Okay, flat 5 landing, Cat 1, no icing expected. And the runway heading, what did I say, 248?
256, when weather good day identified.
246.
654, confirm.
Won't make much of a difference here anyway. Okay, so 5 knots headwind, 7 knots crosswind, easy going. Okay, so landing flaps 5, approach speeds are looking good, and that's it. Now we have our setup completed. So, quick cross-check then. 5,000 at Delta Bravo 433 means we have to lose 18,000. 18 times 3 is 54, plus a couple miles to lose our airspeed. So we are running good on our vertical profile. 60 miles to run, that means we have 6 miles to lose our speed. Around 1 mile converts to roughly 10 knots, so easy going. Okay. It's really too bad we don't have VNAV in this airplane yet. Or proper FMS LNAV. You can see that there is still quite a bit of stuff that is not in here yet. Like over here on the descent page, you can see many values are still missing, unfortunately. The same of course applied to all the others as well, like the cruise page that was almost empty. It would have looked like that in cruise as well, by the way. This is not just because we're in descent already. Also no way to insert winds, stuff like that. No way to fly RNAV approaches. Hopefully that stuff is going to be added once the new FMS comes out. But as you can see on the first impression, if we're able to do a little bit of vertical navigation manually here, the airplane was pretty much capable of doing most of the things that we wanted it to do. So that is something, isn't it? Let's see how it's gonna go on the approach now, especially in case we get a last-minute runway change, which I would absolutely not be surprised if it happens to us. It's not like it ever happened to us on the channel, of course. Never. You get where I'm going with that. Alright, so Berlin comes into view over there.
Scandinavian 1679, contact arrival 119.630, bye.
119.630, Scandinavian 1679, bye. Okay, what was the ADAS island again?
Right, remain on frequency. Transition level 70. Wind 180 degrees 9 knots. Cab OK. Temperature 14. 2.12 QNH 1003 trend. No Sig Berlin Brandenburg information Lima. Out.
Lima. Full in arrival, good night, Scandinavian 1679, flight level 177, descending 140, inbound Delta Bravo 434, information, Lima.
Scandinavian 1679, arrival train track identified, information Mike is valid, descend to flight level 100, expect radar vectoring to ILS approach runway 25 left.
We'll check information, Mike, descend flight level 100, radar vectors ILS 25 left, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, so it is the other runway, so level 100
Scandinavian
is set.
169, expect further descent in about 25 strike miles to keep you inside the protected airspace, Charlie, speed 250 or greater.
Speed 250 or greater, rest is copied, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, 300 is set, and... So, further descent in 25 miles, that means we are losing 6,000 feet until we get there. 6 times 3 is 18. So we have another couple of miles to lose our airspeed then. I tend to say that's just about perfect. If we want to be exact, we can just reduce our rate of descent a bit, or our descent angle, say for example 2.5 degrees. Okay. So, runway 25 left, that means we got a reprogram. Arrival, runway,
Hunter line 144 and
25 left, ILS,
Hunter line 144.
and we have the PTAP 25 left transition. Now let's see what the plane is going to do if I apply this.
Identified, information Mike is valid, descend to flight level 100, expect
Yeah,
radar
starts
vectoring to
turning.
ILS approach runway 25 left.
Okay, heading,
Information Mike, expecting...
and you go back onto your original track, my friend.
25 right, Hunter line 144. Hunter line 144 for my confirmation, descend to flight level 100
So,
and
back
expect ILS
towards
approach runway 25
434.
left.
Here we go.
Descent level...
So now the question is, were we cleared in on 433 or 434? I think I'll just confirm with ATC here.
25 left, Hunter line 144.
I tell you what, looking at this, we're probably cleared him on 433. So 433 and thereafter onto the arrival. Okay, that looks good, and that is pretty much the track that we've been on, so that must have been the one. Okay. So that thing is in, then we need to change our runway over here real quick. So 25 left. Airplane, where are you turning? Sometimes I don't understand why it's doing these small turns over here. Oh well, so what. Okay, 109.5, 245. So 1095 and the same over here, 1095. Missed approach is now straight ahead, left turn, radial 341, inbound Glasdorf, 11515. Okay, and that's set on both sides. So speed instruction was 250 or greater, then we can keep what we have at the moment. And I'll tell you what, let's just make it 290 for now, and we're gonna reduce the speed once we get level in flight level 100. Okay, so for the rest of things, minimums 349 means 350.
Hunter line 144, reduce speed 27 to
350 set. Okay.
Reducing speed to 70.
So that's looking good, and I think that is all we need, is it? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so once we level out in flight level 100, I will start our speed reduction. He approved 250 or greater, so we can go back towards 250 straight away if we need to. Alright.
Scandinavian 1679, I can offer you an 8-mile final if you'd like to fly this.
Absolutely, Scandinavian 1679.
Scandinavian 1679, sorry, say again.
Scandinavian 1679, if we're able, 8 miles.
Scandinavian 1679, roger, to expect, proceed direct Starnem, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1003.
Direct Starnem, descend 4,000, QNH 1003, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, so manage speed back towards 250, then direct to Xanim, direct to insert, here we go, and then descent 4000, that looks good, level change, set QNH, yeah, that was a bit fast. QNH 1003. Trust check passing 9520 now.
identified information Mike, descent to flight level 1.
So lights on, star cockpit on, dome light off again, and that's it. Okay, so let's see. 19 miles to Xanim. Xanim probably in 4000. Well, probably in 3, I guess. So we gotta lose 6,000 feet. Okay, we will be fine at this distance. We need 18 miles. We have 18 miles. Then we just gotta lose our airspeed, but the airplane's got a very effective speed brake, so I'm happy to continue like this. We are number 1 in the process, so I'm not too worried here.
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, arrival low identified again, expect another ILS approach from the 25 left.
Okay, so
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, roger, maintain speed 220 knots.
that all looks good. I do expect that he might cut us short a little bit further from Xanim, but we'll see about it. We'll
Scandinavian 1679, descend to 3000 feet via Xanim, cleared ILS approach runway 25 left, support established.
Scandinavian 1679, I descend 3000 feet via Xanim, cleared ILS 25 left, we'll go. Okay, set, 3000 check.
220 knots or greater.
220 or greater, Scandinavian 1679er. Alright, a little bit of speed brake here. Okay, then FO, you can go back onto terrain, please. Awful standard terrain map here, but, well, better than nothing. Okay, I think that's our airfield in sight over there. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to fly visual approaches at night, so we can't really do anything with it, but nonetheless, always nice to see. And then there is Berlin on the right-hand side over here. I have to admit, the feeling in the Embraer is just really good. It just makes you feel there, if you ignore the avionics, which are definitely the main issue at the moment. Okay, 10 miles towards Xanim. Let's go ahead and retract those speed brakes again. But we'll maintain 250 knots all the way down to 3000, and then we'll decelerate in level flight.
QNH 1003, descent flight level 40 on the line 144. On the line 144 negative, descent to altitude 5000 feet.
It's really not very busy at the moment.
5000 feet on the line 144.
Not a lot happening.
169, if required, you may descend 2500 feet.
Scandinavian 1679, I descend 2500.
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, descend to 3000.
So the big question now is, how can we actually dial that one in?
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, turn left heading 340.
It's not with the feet to meters button, is it? No, it's not. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We'll take 3000, that'll be good. Okay, 11 miles out from the ILS. Activate approach speed. ATC assigned 220, the plane wants to go 210. Yeah, that's fine as well. That's not going to make much of a difference. Once we're established on the final, we will start reducing further.
2 for Delta Bravo, turn left heading 290, cleared LS approach runway 25 left.
Can we reduce, or you want us to keep it?
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, reduce speed 170 knots until 5 miles fine.
Then you do 5 knots.
Scandinavian 179, maintain speed 170 knots or greater until 5 miles final.
170 or greater until 5 miles final, Scandinavian 1679. And I have no idea why I just wanted to do a right-hand turn, but we are not gonna do that.
Turn right heading 15.
So, manual flight. VOR localizer. Why did it turn my course all around?
Wings 2 Kilo Victor, passing 163, descending 140, information Mike.
This is annoying now.
Wings 2 Kilo Victor, arrivation track identified, information Mike correct, descend to flight level 100, expect straight in approach to runway 25 left.
Sending 100, expecting straight in approach, runway 25
Okay,
left,
2, 4,
Wings 2 Kilo
and
Victor, proceed direct Delta Bravo 4,
5.
speed 270 knots or greater.
That's pretty much what I expected when I told you you should be prepared that shit might hit the fan when you're doing this. Okay, approach mode is armed. Localizer capture. I will fly manually down into the glide slope here.
Throttle.
Okay, manual thrust. Speed brake out.
Onto line 144, turn right heading 180, descend
The
to
good thing
3000.
is the speed brake is so incredibly effective on this aircraft. Or at least in theory it is.
Turn right heading, please repeat. Onto line 144, turn right heading 190 now.
Okay, I tell you what, gear
Turn
down.
right heading 190. Onto line 144.
Flaps 1.
Scandinavian 1679, contact tower 118.805, ciao.
118.805, Scandinavian 1679, ciao. Okay, flaps 2. Berlin Tower, good night, Scandinavian 1679, ILS 25 left.
Scandinavian 1679, Berlin Tower, Navind, wind 180 degrees, 9 knots, runway 25 left, cleared land.
Runway 25 left, cleared land, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, flight directors off. Flaps 3.
Wings 2 for Delta Bravo, Berlin Tower, moin, number 2.
So, speed brake lever disagree, not 100% sure why. Probably because I retracted my speed brakes after they auto-retracted when I extended the flaps. Okay, flaps 5. Checked. So we need to be stable by 500. And here we go. Okay, gear down, flaps 5. Getting back on speed over here. It's incredible how
500.
you look at the glide slope scale in this plane, it tells you you're just about a quarter dot below. Then you look outside and you see 4 reds. It's incredible, this bug.
400. Approaching minimums.
Checked.
200 minimums.
Continue. Okay, speed brake up. For some reason my reversers don't want to become active. Okay, no reverser. Manual brakes. And here we go, 36 minutes flight time. Easy going.
Scandinavian 1679, welcome to Berlin. Taxi right on Alpha, hold short of Victor 1.
Right on Alpha, hold short Victor 1, Scandinavian 1679.
The wings 2 for Delta Bravo, wind 1.
Okay, so Alpha is the first one to the right. APU is running already. And here we are.
Tower on the line 144 inbound.
The line 144, Belita, hello.
So, flaps up, speed brake up.
Level 2 on the line 144.
And now I would love to be able to see the position of the taxi light switches, but I just can't figure them out. Let's use the flashlight then. Okay, taxi light is on. Well then, landing lights off, strobe lights off. Well, that is something they need to improve on. You need to be able to see those switches without using the external flashlight, right? Well, anyway, we made it down to Berlin. So yeah, that is pretty much what I expected from this airplane. When I told you you should be proficient in navigation and handling autoflight systems when you fly this aircraft. The moment we were supposed to turn onto the final as we were going direct to Xanim, for some reason it just started a left-hand turn. For really no reason at all. And flying on VATSIM, obviously.
1679, contact apron on 121.855, schönen Abend.
121.855, Scandinavian 1679, schönen Abend. So yeah, on VATSIM you just can't let it do stuff like that. On VATSIM you need to intervene immediately. That's why I disconnected the autopilot straight away. Apron, guten Abend, Scandinavian 1679 on Alpha, short Victor 1.
Scandinavian 1679, Berlin, apron, hello.
So yeah, these kind of things can be rather annoying. On VATSIM you just can't let the plane turn to the left then. You need to anticipate that stuff like that might go wrong, and therefore be able to immediately correct, like I did, just take over manually. Then the course had changed itself, really no idea why. So that made things a little bit harder. In the end I had to fly the approach completely manually. And then you have that incorrect glide slope scale. And if you ask me, also incorrect localizer scale. It's probably both of them. So, yeah, that had the potential to mess us over. Let's just say it that way. That's had the potential to mess us over. But anyway, we are down, even though...
Scandinavian 1679, taxi to gate Bravo 08 via Victor 1, Victor Mike.
Gate Bravo 08 via Victor 1, Victor Mike, Scandinavian 1679. Okay, so yeah, that one had the potential to really mess us over, and let me say it that way, if the captain on this flight would have been, let's say, a standard flight simulator pilot, then I would not have been surprised at all if that thing would have went southbound from that point onwards. So yeah, my overall feedback for this flight is that the aircraft can be flown on VATSIM, but you gotta be careful there. You really have the potential to mess it up. So you gotta be really careful with it. Okay, so Bravo 8 via Victor 1 all the way straight, and then Victor Mike into the gate. Okay.
Yoke 2 for Delta Bravo, apron, good evening, taxi to gate.
Let's accelerate a little bit more here.
Victor 2 and Echo.
We're on the apron now, so we can go 15 knots. Let's go ahead and do that. So, I think we've done everything we could do, so it's really just taxi in right now. Okay. So yeah, my feedback for the flight for the moment is really you can fly it on VATSIM, with the caveat that things may go southbound very, very quickly and unexpectedly if the thing does weird things like what we've just seen it do right now. So hopefully that is something that they will be able to iron out when the new FMS comes. And hopefully that is not going to have problems like that. Okay, so Victor Mike, we're looking for Bravo 8. No follow me needed, handling by VSAC. Then we don't have to think about it, an explanation for the delay. Anybody who hears VSAC knows what it's caused from. Alright, onto the gate. It's rather dark over here, so I am gonna keep my taxi lights on for a bit. Of course, in the real world, it would be much brighter anyway, so I wouldn't need them, but in the simulator, sometimes these things do happen. Okay, taxi light off. The Marshal is in position.
Und die Eurocontroller der Bravo. Wir sind gerade auf Bravo abgebogen. Können wir von der anderen Seite auf Echo rein?
Der Bravo, jawohl. Zu Charlie 3, 2 Bravo und Echo.
And
Bravo left and Echo, Charlie 3.
here we are.
Dunkel wie Bernard.
Okay, park and brake set. And then APU running, shutdown. I really wish it would be a little bit brighter. The dome light is on already, just makes no difference at all. Okay, anyway, here we are. Welcome to Berlin.
63 uniform Zulu ready for taxi.
So, I do hope that you enjoyed this one. Let me know your feedback in the comments below, and I'm very much looking forward to them. Also, let me know if you like the fact that I did cover the Embraer a little bit more these days. Now, last but not least, if you really enjoyed these, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as it does really help out the channel. And if you love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. In any case, thank you very much for watching. Also thanks to all the VATSIM controllers for providing the excellent ATC on today's flight. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.